This is lesson 4-2, patterns with 5s and 0. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe how multiples of 5 behave in the zeros pattern of multiplication. First, let's solve and discuss the patterns that we see here. Each of these multiplication problems has a 5 multiplied by another number. Go ahead and pause for a second, make sure that you know what all of these multiplication problems would equal. When you're done, come back. Now that you've had a second to solve these problems, take a look at the left column versus the right column. All of the numbers in the left column are being multiplied by odd numbers. The result of multiplying 5 by an odd number is an odd number. All of these odd numbers end in 5. In the right column, we have 5 multiplied by an even number. Multiplying 5 by an even number results in an even answer, all of which end in zeros. When you multiply 5 by an even number, since it ends in 0, the multiplication pattern with 5s and zeros results in what's called an extra 0. Of course, it's not really an extra 0. So for example, for the first problem here, we have 5 times 100. We learned from our lesson 4-1, if you multiply the non-zero numbers 5 and 1, you get 5, and then you can annex 2 zeros. Multiplying 5 times 4, however, we get 5 times 4, which is 20, and then we're going to annex the 2 zeros here, so our answer is actually 2,000. It looks like there's an extra 0, but there's not. That 0 is just a result of multiplying 5 by an even number. Here we have 5 times 30. We know that we can do 5 times 3, which is 15, annex a 0. Multiplying 5 by this odd number 3 does not result in an extra 0. 5 times 80, we would multiply 5 times 8, which is 40. And then we annex the 0 on the end. So again, it looks like there's an extra 0 in our answer, but there's not. The extra 0 here is just a result of multiplying 5 by an even number 8. Here we've got 5 times 7,000, which we know is 5 times 7, 35. And then we're going to annex 3 zeros on the end. The number of zeros in our answer is exactly the same number of zeros in the problem. And 5 times 6,000, we do 5 times 6, which is 30. Annex the 3 zeros on the end, and we end up with an answer of 30,000. It looks like there's an extra 0 because there's 4 zeros in our answer and only 3 in the problem, but the extra 0, if you want to call it that, is just a result of multiplying 5 by an even number. So to restate, the product of an even number and 5 always ends in 0, but the product of an odd number and 5 always ends in 5. So the product of an even number and 5 results in an extra 0.